So, good morning to everyone and welcome to Feature February. Last time, we had a talk about music. Today, let's look into the satirical aspect using art. With us today is Prince Ivann Rae Pangidian Maldado. I hope I pronounced it right. From Pakyu Comics. Hi Ivan, how are you doing?
Hi, good morning. I'm fine. And thank you so much for inviting us to this interview. I'm very glad that we are now engaging in this um, kind of thing because we usually um, came from an art page and now look at us.
It's also an honor for us to have you. Kahit po kami, we're just starting or 1 year pa lang po kami and yeah, so we're making progress for each other for our own development. So, to start off this podcast, so can you tell us about yourselves or yourself as a member of Pakyu Comics, your hobbies, and also Pakyu Comics itself?
So, I'm just a middle-aged man, and you know what? Let's not let's not tackle about me. Let's tackle about the page. So, Pakyu Comics is just a um, parang ano siya, uh, page for current views and opinions um, of our current situation on how and null is a representation of a middle-aged person and ayun pinapanood natin kung ano-ano ang mga struggles on being a middle-aged person and it comes with is being in a third world country and sharing it through satirical and some kind of shitpost content.
Okay, so how did you start out with this page? What was your journey towards establishing it?
Actually, it was just a comedic page for fun, and we started out like creating some doodles. Started from a finger, yeah, specifically a middle finger that represent our emotions for everyday, like always hoist those fingers up because yeah, life is like that.
It is indeed po cute and at the same time comedic really. So, what or who influenced you to take this path?
Actually, there are a lot, not just person, but I think most of the artists from everywhere, like I admire most of the artists from our country and from the other countries. So that really inspired me as I have this talent. Bakit hindi ko gamitin? Like for fun lang, ganun, for entertainment. We just want to give opinion to the people, our opinion, and through comedic way because we don't want to offend anyone in terms of our content. And gladly, we got those satisfactions from people, and we're very much happy that our community is currently growing and growing every day. And yeah.
Okay, thank you for that answer po. What are your favorite aspects po in your work? Being in Pakyu Comics and doing all this opinionated and comedic outputs.
It's a good question, Okay, so well, in terms of our aspects, we usually go neutrally, and not neutrally, but well opinionated into our um, content, and that's the most important thing, that you don't pick a side, which means that uh, it doesn't mean that we don't care, but we're giving opinions to both sides to make a content out of it, just for make it more funnier and make it less offensive to people, because the least thing that we want here is to offend anyone by giving our opinions. So I honestly want to give um, hope to people that um, not being close-minded, and be open-minded as well to different views and opinions of people. Yeah, that is it.
I love how you emphasize po yung open-mindedness, especially in this pandemic wherein we are we are isolated, we are at homes, and we are not sure what everyone is, how everyone is. They are exactly the lack of social interactions and all that. So I'm very appreciated po with that. So let's go naman po and to your outputs. How would you define satirical art in your own terms?
Satirical art is just like an outlet for a shit post on the internet, and being internet funny. uh, it's just based for laughs, and seeing other people laugh, smile from that. It's just a way of our group to enjoy what we are doing, and our satirical posts hope that we don't offend anyone, neither by political views, race, or whatnot.
Okay, so speaking of political posts, po, how do you think, given the current situation for the Philippines, how would what do you think is the importance po of those kind of posts na nilalabas?
Yeah, it's a good thing that we are currently engaging in that kind of post right now, because currently we're experiencing some misinformations throughout the internet, and some political biases of some sorts, and we don't want those I'm not gonna say empty-minded, but uneducated people to adapt to those misinformations, to because here's the thing, that we are very political conscious in our group, and we don't want someone to be parang bulag, ganon. And being someone that has a political knowledge and sharing it to others, that is a great help, even if there is 1-2% that is learning from our political posts, and that's a great thing, because we are currently changing the country by helping, even though it's not big, but yeah, we're doing our best.
So I really love the answer po. As a citizen of the Philippines, you have we find ways in order to educate our fellow countrymen, because it's really important. Ilang months na lang, ito na ulit, elections and all that. So we really need to be educated as much as possible, because we're really endangering the fate of the Philippines for the next 6 years or so. So
Correct.
in your Yes. Can your type of work be seen, viewed, or considered something else than a form of art? And what are these and how so?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Can your type of work be seen, viewed, or considered something else than a form of art?
Yeah, it's a form of art. Actually, anyone trying to do art in their own way is their art style, and that's that's what art um that's what ayun ang nagpapaganda sa art kasi uh, anyone can do it. It's their own style, and kahit simpleng gawa lang yan, it's considered as art as long as there is meaning or there is not a meaning, but you consider it as art, there would be no problems in it. We keep our community growing and growing, and being recognized all over the country and all over the world. Anyone can do art. That's the good thing.
So for your ano po, for the what Pakyu comics do you think those things are more than art? More than just art that we see and we looked into our social media pages?
It's usually just art, but in our current situation and what we are currently experiencing as a person, it might be more than art because it really hits different type of people, and usually it's just for arts. What we feel, we we draw what we feel, and then or we draw what we currently think of. So every post, like there is a people getting their lives changed. Yeah, let's say lives changing like that, and as much as possible, we want to keep it more engaging to our community and as a form of our art style, and yeah, more comedic. Let's do it in a more comedic way that we don't offend anyone from um 'cause, we usually kind of use some neutral jokes. We don't use biases and all sorts, but we want to keep it that way. We don't want to um, give anyone opening to hate on us. As much as possible, we want it to keep it neutral to all kinds of people.
I love po how you're really open to exploring different sides of the coin, and it's really appreciated po because we really have different opinions as long as those kinds of opinions are sensible.
Yeah.
So, can are there any unique skills or lessons that you gathering in your kind of work?
We engage in before in workshops, like I think that's just once, and we are currently learning from internet because we want to adapt as much as possible into our art, and it we want it to keep it consistent in terms of our content and our art form. What we can do is to improve more some sort of in our content, like we change it very frequently. Let's say like every 5 comics there is one that is different. So that is we are currently adapting to any form of art style that we are currently learning.
So thank you for that. With those skills na you mentioned, can the skills or lessons be gathered from other Can these skills or lessons be gathered from other types of experiences in life? Why or why not?
Um, we can gather those from experiences because um, our content is based on experiences itself, right? So we share it as an art form since we have the capability to have the platform to give opinions to others. So it is um, it is really depend on you know experiences, and that is very highly impacting on our content, and marami kami natututunan in terms of experiences sa mga bagay-bagay, and we want to keep it as a part of ourselves and also as a part of our art.
Okay, so that is very sentimental. No? It really reflects on how we see life and we see it in a vivid picture. So, aside from that, what skills do you think you can only attain from your works, from doing those?
Hmm. I think being more politically um, aligned. So um, while we're doing this type of comics, we are also learning from what are the different views and opinions of our community. But it is not stopping us from. We are currently all open for an opinion as long as it's not a hateful, and it is not for just for fun. We do it for nakakakuha kami ng magagandang opinion from these people from our community, and that is so happy to see na they are really learning from our page, and we want to hear what's their take on our current views and opinions.
Yes, that's very important. Well, I guess it's really all about the non-stop learning.
Yeah.
And those people around us helping each other build those kinds of insights. So next, not exclusive to Pakyu Comics, but those who want to venture in comedic and satirical types of art. So what do you think are the kind of skills that they need if they want to do this kind of outfits?
First, they're gonna need to have more insights on what they are really doing, and as much as possible, we don't want to keep it biased on your content, since you want to be a satirical art page. Before you create something, take a look on both sides, and as much as possible, do a thorough reading, learning from it. And the last thing that you will need is to do what you need to do. Execute. Yeah.
So it really boils down to executing your plans, and after all, output is really the key in order for us to enlighten.
But first, you need to do the planning.
Agree with that, po. So we go back to the word satire. Satire, which is somehow connected to politics in terms of messages. So how do you think the negative views by society on the likes of your work will be alleviated?
from what we saw on the page, that there is really a lot of negative comments in our posts, or not really that kind of that much, but some. What we can do is giving them a voice to mic to speak, and okay, let's say that they're done giving opinions. We want to educate them more on what is the true meaning of their what they are saying, because um, views and opinions comes from a root, you know. Um, Hindi lahat ganyan. Yung iba naapektuhan lang, kaya napilitan mo din ganyan. Yan. I don't want to say anything from, you know, political reasons.
So, it's a very powerful statement. After all, yung paninindigan po ng bawat tao, it's really something that we treasure ourselves. So, overall po, do you think your kind of work is do you think is it love or duty?
From what we can feel in our community, it is sorry, is loved by, you know, seeing 1-2 people happy from our posts. That makes us really happy too, and that's what makes us push to release out more contents every now and then. Usually we post 1 post a day, and if you know, if we have free time, 2 a day. Sorry. And it is very well welcomed in the community, since we are currently we are slowly getting recognized by large art groups on the Philippines, and by the people that seeing our posts. It's like most of them are very welcoming, and they seem very, very happy in terms of our content.
Very happy to hear that po. I myself is very entertained with the posts that you release. They're funny, but at the same time, it's very impactful the message. But that's just my take. So, anyways, would you like others to take on this path as well? Why or why not?
Yes and no. Yes, because it's a good thing that you will have the knowledge of, you know, holding the knowledge of being this person that is currently has a knowledge on most of everything that we can possibly be, and that is a very huge responsibility in terms of what is our current state, since we are currently growing. And yeah, and no, because we don't want you to go, you know, we don't want you to be a middle-aged jobless person from what we are currently stated in.
So, all this is a matter of volunteerism.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, so, it's actually, siguro it really depends rin po on the passion, Pero, at the same time, yun nga po, may nangyaring shortcomings. But, I'm really proud po of volunteers. Who really, binubuhos po talaga yung oras nila in order to educate the masses in any way we could. So, ayun po, salute to you guys po. So, next question po, what advice do you have for people who aspire to be part of this kind of work you're in, and those who are new to this?
do it. Yeah. Let's just say that. Hmm, why not? Because you have your own platform. What we could do is to execute and make as more content as possible because it's your art. You want to express yourself. Don't let um, anyone um, parang huwag kang magpahila pababa sa mga nanghihila sa'yo pababa, di ba? It's like that. Sabihan mo sila na, ano pake mo? Ganun. Sabi like that.
So, and then it boils down na naman po ulit sa paninindigan and that strong stance. So, what makes your kind of work unique compared to other applications or fields of art?
It is very short. In terms of our comics, it's very short. But it is impacting. Just plain and simple. But it is very powerful form of art, and that's what we want it to be, and we want it to keep it consistent as much as possible. So if there's changes, a little bit, and yeah, I think we want it more parang interactive to all sorts of person, and we want it to keep it more open as much as possible.
Okay. So, you mentioned po kanina yung about your yes and no's on why a person should venture into this kind of work. So, given those advantages and disadvantages, do you think yung po mga disadvantages, yung mga experience po ba na yun, do you think they take away the fun or enjoyment of working in those kind of outputs?
Actually, no. It doesn't take the fun as long as you love what you're doing. And even you said voluntarily, even though you're not making out of it, you can still do your art. It is your expression. It is your art style. So there is not really a disadvantage to all those aspiring artists that wants to express themselves by content form. Yeah.
So that is very nice to hear po. So I'm sure you have mga setbacks po na you had to deal. So if there's a person or a group of people who are starting to venture in this kind of field and experiencing those setbacks or difficulties, what advice would you give them?
Just since we have our unique art styles, we want you don't have to worry about what path are you taking on because you are obviously doing great, and don't let anyone stop you from doing what you love, since it is your expression, it is your views and opinion. Don't let someone ruin that just because they don't like it. Yeah.
As a person, an art enthusiast myself, that is very I'm very grateful that I hear that from you because discouragement, may times mo na hindi talaga siya maiwasan. Given the siguro the opinionated nature of a person, it can be either an open or close-minded kind of opinion. And yes, you guys, to the people who are listening, so it's really just about just do it and enjoy. enjoy what you do. So next, so in the future, do you see yourself doing this still this kind of work? Why or why not?
In the future, could be um since what if this is just a what if we don't post and we don't say anything at all, and what would be our community will think? Oh, they just ginos tayo, like that. um in the future, we'll still be doing this type of, you know um content. And yeah, from what I said earlier, we wanted to keep it consistent as much as possible. And um slightly changes to keep, because we don't want someone to get bored, because paulit-ulit yung post niya. It's the same content all over again. And yeah, it's a interactive page, and we'll be interacting more in the future. And we hope that we have a lot of collaborations from other artists, aspiring artists, and just anyone can do it. We can have a collaboration with anyone, as long um as you are currently open for collaborations as well. And yeah, in the future, more contents, and we want it consistent.
So kudos to that. So ito naman. If you're given the opportunity, would you ever leave this kind of work behind? Why or why not?
No. Actually, if just romantically say, if namatay kami, papamana namin siya sa sa mga sumusunod na generation, something like that. And we don't want to leave it hanging, because from what we are currently standing on, our community is very huge, and most of them are getting their energy from our posts. We receive a lot of feedbacks that, hey, you changed my life by your post, and we wanted to keep it that way. It's a life-changing experience for everyone. And if like what I said earlier, kung nanonood man siya, ipapamana namin siya kay ate. Yeah.
There's a shout out. So next, where do you see your work and its industry in the Philippines going in the future?
Honestly speaking, we want it to keep it small as much as possible, because there's this power that you hold pagka lumaki na yung page mo. Ganun. Like, it's such a huge responsibility to us to push more contents. And even if we are currently in rough times, what we mostly do is repost our content, because on what we are currently feel. And being in a large community in the future makes that more, it's like a pressure that is going on, and that doesn't stop us from having a large community. But for now, we could not think of a way that on how are we going to execute on the future. It's very hard
So this is noted po. So, do you think this kind of work you're in is greatly beneficial to oneself? How so and in what ways?
Um, Even though that we are giving our side on our take on everything, we are also learning from our community if they want to share their opinions. And that's a great thing that they are really engaging on our content, that we are learning from it. Oh, sometimes we got those aha moments in our lives. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, next time we'll do it this way. And it's a very good thing that we are also learning from it, and we are changing from it.
Okay, so thank you for that. All your answers were very great, and those insights we're sharing for the exchange of life lessons. My goodness, for me it's really sentimental because as part of the youth, we still have a lot of challenges to encounter.
Yeah.
From a simple comedic relief, we learn a lot, and thank you very much for that. So, how about you? Meron pa po ba kayong mga gustong idagdag or something to say?
Mm. Um. Yeah. There is one thing that make sure to like Pakyu Comics and join our Discord server.
Yes, follow the plug
And
we'll
look for Mo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, paano ba yan? Time flies so fast, and that's all for today. Again, thank you very much, Ivan, for accepting our invitation and being with us here
You're
today.
very
Hoping for a bright future and keep safe always.
You too. Bye bye. Also, Gcash.
Oh, I wish
No.